rebuilding. The catastrophic failure, a new start. Physically, mentally, our careers, our businesses. Step back, first step, next step. The driver in me just wants to get it done tomorrow. We'll do this, do that, let's move this, where are we at with this? You build some confidence, build some self-esteem, start to feel better about yourself. The Silverback Blueprint Podcast, a show for men over 40. We focus on getting stronger, staying motivated, building discipline, creating a community, and becoming truly happy. Hey guys, and welcome to the Silverback Blueprint. Work your ass off when nobody is watching. You know, I've talked about this a couple of times, maybe even more often and stuff, and it's a subject that's going to be coming up in one of my 5 a.m. videos. And, you know, we like a tip of the iceberg, right? We only see that 10%, right, of what people are doing. So we look at someone who's successful. We talked about earlier about mentors and that kind of thing. Or even just people that go, oh, you know, you own a business, must be nice. You own a business, you got all this money. You know, oh, you can write this off. You know, that's the 10% of the iceberg. That's an example of it. They have no clue as to what it takes to do all the other things behind the scenes just to survive in a business. You know, the percentages of a business making it past 3 to 5 years, something like 85% of businesses fail, right? And some categories it's even higher overall. And of the ones that succeed, you know, the medium income for the owner is not anywhere what you think it is. A lot of times, by the time they pay everybody and pay all their taxes and all that bullshit, they're making less than if they were working for the government or doing something like that. But obviously they're doing it for other reasons. Yes, there's going to be a time for certain businesses if they keep at it and they, you know, as I like to say, make their own luck, as opposed to the civilians out there that look over, you know, see a success and sit there and assume it's luck. You know, they didn't see the first 30 years plugging away. What happens is, you know, you'll get guys, you know, that just make it. They just, something finally clicks, they earn it long enough, and all of a sudden they start to reap the benefits and they reap the rewards and stuff, right? But, you know, it's long and it's hard, and I'll tell you right now, it's fucking well deserved when it happens, right? You know, the big thing to think about is, other way of looking at that 10% is that what you see, right, is such a small amount of what really has to happen behind the scenes. The pressures and things like that. And I'm not trying to make this negative or anything like that. That's not what it's about. But, you know, I get a lot of people that are asking me, hey, Kurt, you know, things are working out well for you. You know, the brand is growing, must, you know, and you get the ones that are, oh, it must be nice. And I don't fucking listen to those guys, right? But you get the ones that are asking, hey, you know, what can I do? Like, what's like, how do I do what you're doing and stuff? You know, and the one thing I'll tell them is that you have to get beyond the 10% of the romance of owning a business, right? And when I talk about owning a business, I talk about you own a business that has costs and has, you know, it can be bricks and mortar, has employees, like a true business, right? Where you've put something together and you know, it's an organism on its own, that kind of thing. You know, to do that, there's so much that has to happen, and so much of it has to happen when no one is looking, right? You'll often see me post on Facebook, hey, 2 a.m., just did a bunch of shirts, I'm going to bed now, right? I put that out there just to remind some people out there that think that this is all easy, that, you know what, there's nights where I work the gym till 9 or 10, I head over to my place where I have my screen printing equipment, and then I print shirts till midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And then I'm back sometimes teaching at 5:45, in the gym at 5:30, because that's the shit that has to fucking get done, right? That's the stuff, the behind the scenes. And that's the stuff that if you want to be successful, you have to get past the romance of the idea of what you're doing. And this applies to business. This applies to changing a habit that you have. You know, so, you know, all of a sudden, yeah, I'm food prepping and I took the photo on Sunday of all my meals. You know, that's great, right? That's the 10%. That's the tip of the iceberg. That's the picture you put up on Facebook or Instagram. And that's awesome. But now the behind the scenes stuff is you got to do that every Sunday, every Wednesday, and you got to stick to those meals, and you got to make sure you have the food ready and you prepare it and you take all the time to do it. That's the stuff that is not glorious. That's the stuff that's not exciting. That's the stuff that even you wish you didn't have to do, but has to get done in order to be successful. Whether it's in a new habit, whether it's in business, whether it's in a relationship. So many relationships, you have an argument with your significant other, right? And you're like, oh, and you come to some sort of resolution, and you want to solve it. You want to make it better. Both parties want to make it better. But that's the tip of the iceberg. The hard part is following through on the things that you both agree that has to get done to improve the situation. That's the hard work. That's the working your ass off when nobody's looking. That's the put the dishes back in the dishwasher when you're done because it annoys your spouse when she comes home and the fucking shit's everywhere. That's the stuff that's hard for your spouse to do when, you want her to wear something sexy once in a while because you want to feel, sexy, and you want to feel that you want to have that intimacy and that's a trigger for you. That's important, right? Well, that's the hard work where your spouse has to make sure that they follow through on that, even though they don't particularly feel like it today because they had a hard day, right? Or because it was busy, or because it was stressful. All legitimate, reasons. But again, that's the working your ass off to make sure you do what you can to be successful in the endeavor. That's the, make sure you follow the checklist at the business and follow the system that was created to make sure it happens. And you know what? That's I didn't get it done by the time my shift was over, so I'm going to stay half an hour to make sure it gets done. It's those little things that are done when no one is looking that really improve your craft, improve your business, improve your success, and move you towards things because so many people will not do it. Like the tip of the iceberg, right? 90% of all the stuff that has to happen is unseen by others. And 90% of the people out there won't do what has to get done. They're the ones that are going to piss and moan about their situation and their fate. They're the ones that are going to be out there saying how lucky you are to do it, right? They're the ones that are not going to want to believe that you worked your ass off for it because they're afraid they're going to have to admit to themselves that they're not working for what they want, right? That's why it comes down to don't give a fuck what most of those people say, right? Because they're not looking at it properly. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about your success. They give a shit about the fact that they feel uncomfortable with your success. So don't worry about earning their respect and their acknowledgement and stuff because you're just going to fucking drive yourself crazy. And you got too much shit to do behind the scenes to worry about what those people think about, right? When you start to truly succeed and hit your goals and work towards your why and, follow towards your purpose, that's where you're going to realize that all that hard work behind the scenes not only is, rewarding, it's fucking necessary. That's the only way it gets done. The only way. And anyone that tries to tell you differently has never been truly successful in something that was challenging for them, right? And just remember that. And the ones that have done it, that have gone through the grind, that are going through the grind, when they see it in you, they recognize it. It's like having that special fucking wave that, certain car owners have or bike owners have and stuff like that, right? That secret wave. They fucking know. They know because they're doing it. They've done it. They've gone through it. They'll know within fucking 30 seconds of talking to you about what you're doing with your business or your career or your goals. They'll feel it. It comes from you. You radiate that. It makes a big difference overall, right? And to me, that is the fucking secret. So when I sit there and I'm trying to lose weight, I know that I'll lose weight when I eat my meals, I prep my meals, and I follow and I track everything. But that's the behind the scenes work, guys. That's the stuff that's not fun and sexy. That's the stuff that isn't a cool meme on Facebook or Instagram, right? When I sit there and I work with a client and they're like all confused, they don't understand why they lost weight, it's simple. I just look at them and say, show me your food journal. The fucking conversation ends because they didn't do it. Had they done it, had they entered the food in the journal, had they done their meal prep, they would be losing weight. There's no fucking secret. There is no surprise. There is no magic. There is no quick fix. I was watching a show last night, and it was 585 pound teen. So this kid that was morbidly obese, 585 pounds, talking about his life, right? And being overweight myself, I get it. I've never been that heavy, and I don't ever want to be that heavy. But I get it. I get the dealing with food, stress through food or booze or whatever. I totally get it. But what was driving me crazy about this kid is that his belief system was, I've tried diets and they don't work. I've tried exercising and they don't work. I've tried joining this group and it doesn't work. And the real honesty, guys, the real fucking honesty is all those things work. He wasn't working. He was the problem, right? Now, I don't want to sound cruel, but it's legit. It's real. Now, I think there's more to do with psychological issues. When they showed the family, the mom was 300 pounds, the sister was 375 pounds. They even admitted they just, ate way too much food. The whole time they were filming, it was fried chicken and potato chips and stuff like that. Guys, that's what that leads to, right? The whole family was eating food to deal with the stress, right? To have that chemical release to feel good. The same chemical release you're going to get when you finish a great workout, a good walk in the sun, a good bout of sex. It's the same chemical release, but food is easier. Food requires less work. There's not 90% of the work being done behind the scenes with food, right? So I really didn't like that message. Now the kid ended up getting a stomach surgery, and basically if he ate more than a tablespoon of anything, he would throw it up. So it forced him, but it took the control away from him. So he lost a bunch of weight. Now he's a singer, or he's going to be a singer and stuff like that. It's all nice. It's all nice how it ended up and stuff like that, right? But not once was there an acceptance or a responsibility taken in his own actions as a teenager. He's older. He's 17, I think. He's responsible for some of those actions. Not once did his mother take real responsibility for having created that environment for her children. It was all things were happening to them. They couldn't succeed because of what was happening to them, and other things were not working, right? And I think that's my concern where society is going. Listen, when I gain weight, I fucking know why I gained weight. When I lost weight, I know why I lost weight. And my battle is to do the things that need to get done. That's what it is, right? So at the end of the day, there's no surprise. But I don't blame anybody else but myself, right? And so I'm understanding on that end. Hey, I get it. I know what that struggle is like. I know what that challenge is, right? But it doesn't change how things work and how things, what things you have to do to make the changes you want when you want to lose weight, as we're using an example. You want to get stronger in the gym? You want to build muscle? Well, you know what's going to happen? You have to fucking work hard in the gym. You know how many people I see working out that don't even fucking sweat? Nothing's going to change. No appreciable amount of change is going to happen to your strength, to your muscle size, right? You're going to maintain maybe, right? And you're doing a positive thing. Hey, working out is better than Netflixing on the couch all the time. Don't get me wrong. I get that. But then don't come to me and say, I don't understand why I'm not getting stronger. Because I'm like, well, I've seen you work out and you don't fucking sweat. You're not discomforted, or you're not in a state of turmoil physiologically where your body is breaking down muscle tissue and you're working hard and it's strenuous. Because that's what creates the signaling. That's what creates the environment where the body has to respond by getting bigger and better and stronger to adapt to the stresses you're putting it through, right? I got one guy at the gym, love him to death, right? But just refuses to believe his nutrition is what's holding him back on his powerlifting. Had this conversation with him for 4 years now. Every time he brings it up, I'm like, show me your food journal. And he just fucking, well, that's your answer. I go, that is the fucking answer specifically for you because I know what's going on. It's that simple, right? So at the end of the day, it's the 90% of the shit that has to get done behind the scenes. It's working your ass off consistently on the things that has to get done when nobody is watching, when nobody is applauding you, when no one is, telling you how great you are or loving, and saying how impressed they are with your work ethic. That's the trap. Because when you fall into that and people start doing that, you start going for that. To you, that's the motivating factor. So you only do the surface stuff. Just enough to get that recognition. Just enough to get all those likes and views. Right? And if that's honestly what you want, then all right, rock that shit. But if you truly aren't happy with the results you're getting in any facet of your life, get this shit through your head. It's the 90% of the work that you do working your ass off when no one is looking, when no one is telling you to do it. It's when you set those standards for yourself that all those changes start to happen. And I'll tell you, that's where the real self-respect comes from. We've talked about before, the best form of respect is self-respect, right? But that's where you earn your fucking stripes. That's where you earn your fucking silverback patch. Is that you see problems, you address it, and you work on it, and you work on it. Not that you don't stumble, because we're all going to stumble. Not that you don't take a step backwards sometimes, that happens. But that no matter what, you keep moving forward. You hold yourself to a higher level of accountability, a higher standard. And you hold yourself to that when no one's looking. You don't eat that piece of cake, whether someone's in the fucking room or not. Right? That is what has to happen, guys. It's that. Work your ass off, whether anyone is there or not. If someone's there, great. If someone's not there, it doesn't fucking matter. So your training partner doesn't show up for the workout. You know what you got to do? Do the fucking workout. Because the easy way is that, oh, fuck it, I'll do something else instead. I've been there. It happens when one of my 7 a.m. guys don't show up. 50-50 sometimes that I hit the workout or not. Right? But when that person shows up, it's easier for me to go, oh, put my book down, let's go up, put the pen down, let's go up, move the mouse, it's time to go do the workout. That's why it's important to set up some scenarios so that it forces you. It makes it so that you have no other choice. But at the end of the day, guys, it's your commitment level to yourself. Work your ass off, motherfuckers. Or as the t-shirt says, work hard, motherfuckers. Head on over to hostilegear.com, use the code SILVERBACK to save 20% off on said t-shirt. We also have it in male, of course, and we even have it in female cuts, right? Those girls work hard. A lot of girls work hard. That's one of the things I like about women. I find women naturally tend to work harder than men. I don't know if that's the way they're wired or they're just stuck with a fucking guy that doesn't do the work, so they have to work harder. I don't know. But anyway, all that to say is that we got some for the chicks as well. Head on over to iTunes, guys. Leave us a 5-star rating and a review. That really helps us. I know a lot of you guys keep saying that I want to and I mean to. I keep forgetting. I know it's a pain in the ass, but now the way it works is at the bottom of this episode, you can actually do it right there, lickety-split. Right? When's the last time you heard that? It's been a while. And if you grew up on the Quebec side, it was lickety-split Barbatrick. There was this really bad purple cartoon guy that was even before Barney. It was fucking horrific. It didn't even have a mass. It didn't have a shape. It was just like a snowman that only had 2 balls instead of 3 and had eyes. It actually looked like the fucking Blob from that Steve McQueen movie. I think Steve McQueen did that movie, The Blob, in the 50s. Anyway, as usual, I digress. I'll talk to you guys later.